向かってこい。構わぬ。好きなだけ近づいてこい。ただしこれが最後だ。 きなだけ近づいてこい。ただしこれが最後だ。
These are the strangest Java versus Bedrock differences in Minecraft history, but they get increasingly more confusing as the video goes on. Steak does not exist in Bedrock Edition, which begs the question, what happens if you cook beef? Well, perhaps unsurprisingly, if you do this, you're left with an item called cooked beef. If you were to look at the sun in Bedrock, you notice a temporary blindness come across your screen, but in Java Edition, we can stare at the sky as much as we want. As you'll notice, Bedrock's llamas shoot their spit a bit differently than Java, meaning we're able to deflect the projectile with a random weapon, and that even includes our fists in some cases. If you type in this command, you're able to get a secret larger variant of the rabbit, which is actually how big the rabbits were supposed to be when they were added into the game. If you go to name an item in an anvil, it'll have an italicized name, which is a dead giveaway. But on Bedrock, we can use the secret Unicode character to fix that, which offers up some solid pranks for sure. Structure voids are a weird block, and on Java, they aren't very useful to us builders. But on Bedrock, we can use these structure voids almost the same way as barrier blocks, except we can walk through them. If you got some soul sand and wither skulls, you can see this difference happen, because when we spawn in the wither on Bedrock Edition, the boss actually turns white before it spawns, which contrasts what we see on Java where it turns blue before it heals all the way up. And considering that the Bedrock version has way more health than the one on Java, I think we should take this as a white flag and use it for our surrender. If you were to wear a creeper head in Java Edition, then the detection range of a creeper that you stand next to gets cut in half, meaning it doesn't recognize that you're a threat until you get much closer. But in Bedrock, you'll still want to keep your distance. Only in Java Edition are we able to get a turtle inside of a boat by using.
Hello guys, like and subscribe. You are the best.
These are the strangest Java versus Bedrock differences in Minecraft history, but they get increasingly more confusing as the video.
Hi, it's Doug. I want to show you something. This is a purple striped jellyfish. Pretty cool, right? Jellyfish are some of the ocean's most beautiful and graceful creatures.
Hi, it's Danny. In case you haven't already guessed, one of my favorite places in the world.
Have you ever wanted to take a dive into the deepest parts of the ocean? Well, today, you're gonna have this opportunity. Now, how good are you at holding your breath? Not that good? Well, not to worry. Hop aboard my submersible craft and join me in the voyage to the depths. Ready? Ooh, let's dive. Right now, just below the surface, you see that life is thriving here. Fish and marine animals abound, and hey there, swimmers are waving at us. But we won't be staying here for long. Bye-bye! At 65 feet, there's a whole new world opening before your eyes. Shallow coral reefs are standing beautifully not far from the shore. And hey, there are people here again. It's scuba divers this time, though. Water pressure isn't kind to divers without special equipment. 130 feet is the depths where we say goodbye even to recreational scuba divers. It's the maximum allowed for them. Take care, guys. 200 feet, and here's the sea and on land. Shh! You hear this? These are the sounds fin whales are making to talk to their friends many miles away. They can do this thanks to the SOFAR channel, or deep sea channel, that generally starts at 1,970 feet, but can vary in depth. Well, I must say I'm glad we didn't turn off the lights after all. This little guy is surprisingly snailfish and the bravest. But perhaps even more terrible is the creature called the black swallower. It's an eel-like beast that has a very stretchy stomach, and it can swallow prey that's twice its size. Look down below, and you're going to see the deepest shipwreck ever found. SS Rio Grande in the South Atlantic sunk in 1941 and went as low as 18,900 feet. No wonder it was only found 55 years later. And now the deepest and darkest part of the ocean begins. We're diving into the Mariana Trench. Officially, it begins at about 19,700 feet deep. It's both the least explored and the most fascinating area for the scientists and adventurers alike.